pull up on this thing. They're pulling on the headphones.
Hey, good morning, folks. If you're just tuning in and you are watching our behind-the-scenes live stream, we're just checking some technical stuff here. We're going to get a few adjustments made. Want to make sure you can hear me and see me. If you can, drop something in the chat. We appreciate it. And we're going to be going live, officially live here in a second. Me too. Stand by. Okay, folks, we are getting ready to go live. We're probably about 8 minutes away, but just want to let you know, thank you for being here and helping us with the technical aspect of things. Drop us in the chat. Let us know if you can see us and hear us. We got special guests coming up today. We are live from Cornerstone University. Got Eric Metaxas with us today. We've got, and he's been spending some time doing some things here around campus. And the president of Cornerstone joining us as well. So we're diving in. Big news day, lots of stuff to discuss. Save America Act passed yesterday. We'll have that. A new budget the governor wants to push through here in the state. We'll talk about that too, and what she wants to charge you more for. She's talking about raising taxes too. Well, the money's got to come from somewhere. So anyway, we're all set and we're ready to go. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate it. Live from Cornerstone University. Stand by, folks.
It's Justin. The behind-the-scenes live stream starts momentarily. But first, thanks to our wonderful sponsors. I don't know if you just saw the news, but average U.S. household debt just hit $152,000. That's mortgages, cars, cards, student loans. But the national debt just hit $37 trillion. It's all going up. Ask yourself this. When the system hiccups, who bails you out? It's not the Fed, not the politicians, and that's why I own gold. Gold doesn't need a CEO, doesn't need missed earnings. It doesn't freeze your account on a Friday at 4:59. While they print, gold just sits there doing what it's done for thousands of years. Store value. If you're done playing musical chairs with your savings, get something real in your hand. That's why you should try our good friends Kirk Elliott Precious Metals today. Goldwithjustin.com. Kirk and the team going to walk you through what they're doing, whether you're a seasoned pro when it comes to buying precious metals or you're just getting started. Call Kirk and the team today at 720-605-3900. That's 720-605-3900, or go to goldwithjustin.com to find out how they can help you today. No pressure, just facts and a plan. That's goldwithjustin.com. Protect what's yours with gold. Goldwithjustin.com. Do it today. When the grocery shelves go empty, you're out of time. That's the truth. Disasters hit fast. Storms, blackouts, supply chain chaos, and the first thing to vanish is food. That's why smart Americans, just like you, are stocking up now with My Patriot Supply. You can go to preparewithjustin.com right now to get a 3-month emergency food kit, and they'll even throw in a free 4-week food kit to boot. That's 4 whole months of meals ready to eat, no refrigeration needed, all with a 25-year shelf life. We're talking breakfast, lunches, dinners, over 2,000 calories a day to keep you strong when everything else shuts down. So don't wait until the crisis is here. Order today, and it ships fast and discreet. Go to preparewithjustin.com. That's preparewithjustin.com, because when the lights go out, the last thing you should be worrying about is feeding your family. Preparewithjustin.com. It's here, the grand reopening of the merch.
Yeah, welcome in. It is another big one. And in fact, we'll get into the latest news. Big news from the House last night, passing the Save America Act. We got Governor Whitmer, who has a new budget, and she's looking for new ways to spend your money. She's got all kinds of great ideas. That and more coming up today as we broadcast live from Cornerstone University on the campus, beautiful campus here. We'll have a couple of guests that join us. One, Eric Metaxas, who is a podcaster. He's got a great show, Eric Metaxas Show. He's an author, and he's doing great things at Cornerstone University. The news on that coming up after this. The Big Three, powered by our good friends. That's right. You'll be talking about around the water cooler at the dinner table, no matter where you are. Heartland Home Mortgage, HHMLending.com, making this happen today for you. And of course, Dave Galloway and the team standing by, ready to help you, whether it's a new home you need to get into, maybe it's a home equity line of credit, or you want to refinance because rates have come down. Dave's watching them all, and the team at Heartland Home Mortgage can help you at HHMLending.com. Biggest stories of the day. We'll start with number one. The House passed the Save America Act. Slim majority there. Well, one Democrat voted yes. So wrap your head around this one. The rest of the Democrats voted against voter ID. They voted against making sure that folks are U.S. citizens to vote. These are common sense issues. There should never be an appearance of impropriety in any of our elections. Yet 99.5%, here's the math, 99.5% of those Democrats in the House voted against something that 83% of Americans support, that voter ID. Make that one make sense. We'll talk about that as we move through the show today. Number two, Governor Whitmer proposing massive tax increases here in Michigan. Her top budget managers unveiling a record $88 billion. Who cares how much, really? It's not her money. She doesn't mind spending it. They'll rely on tax increases and a $400 million withdrawal from the state's rainy day fund to process all of that. We'll dig in a little bit further. Number three today. Did we shoot down a party balloon? We told you this mystery story in El Paso where things were shut down at the airport there. It's 10 days, everything's going to be shut down. There was a major security issue, a major risk. And turns out it was a party balloon. Look, we can laugh about this now. Better safe than sorry. They thought they had some drones that were flown by the cartel in the airspace. And they found out it was a party balloon and I guess flexed their muscle with some new laser weapon that was able to take the thing out. Just a harmless Mylar party balloon, but it's gone. Not to burst that bubble. But those are the big stories we're looking at today. You can join the program at any time if you'd like on the Talkback feature, the iHeartRadio app. Just click that little microphone button and sound off or call 616-774-2424. Justin at justinbarclay.com. As we broadcast live from Cornerstone University today, and our good friend, Dr. Gerson Moreno-Riano, and Doctor, we were just talking about all the great things that are happening here. You've got Eric Metaxas on campus. You guys are constantly doing things like this in an atmosphere to make sure that students are getting the most bang for their buck, that they're being enriched, they're being encouraged, and not just indoctrinated like we see in other places. You guys are really a bright and shining light for folks all across the country right now.
Well, Justin, thank you so much. It's a great opportunity. And first, I need to say that we grounded all of our party balloons.
Yeah, I was wondering,
we
where were they?
we don't want any airspace closures over Grand Rapids, so
right.
we grounded everything we had. No, seriously,
Fantastic.
It's a great opportunity to be here, and thank you for coming once again. It's great to see you.
Absolutely.
And the vision that we have is that we want to ensure that we bring some of the greatest, brightest minds to this campus to interact with our faculty, our staff, and our students, to educate.
Right.
To educate about what's beautiful, what is true, what is good, to have deep, meaningful conversations with our students. And that's what Eric has brought and many others. And on March 5th, we have wisdom conversations. We pack the house out with those. Anywhere from 800 to about 1,000 people come from the community.
Wow.
And we bring 2 to 4 national or international public leaders, intellectuals. And we have weighty conversations about things that really are deep in the hearts of people in West Michigan, throughout the country. But the goal is wisdom. How do we live better lives? How do we live lives that are good and beautiful and true? How do we discern? How do we act with conviction and courage? Not just in our thinking, but in our doing. And that's what we're trying to do and attempting to do. And we're grateful that Eric's here and so many others are here. We had lots of members of the community here yesterday for chapel to hear Eric and his new book. And so it's a wonderful opportunity and a great time to be doing this here in Cornerstone University.
You just, when you talk about wisdom conversations, every day I read, the chapter of the day for the book of Proverbs. I'm trying to, soak up as much as I can. And I'm reminded that in a day and age, and we'll talk about AI and what the impact might be in education and furthermore here back at home, but we have access to more information now than ever before. But if we're not seeing that information and we're not processing it through that lens, biblical worldview is my personal preference. That's the truth. But if we're not processing through that lens of wisdom, we're missing a big piece of the puzzle, aren't we?
We are, and one of the beautiful but dangerous things about the internet, it's been that it equalizes every piece of information.
Yeah.
Everything is just data.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, what could be really wise, it seems just data. What could be really foolish, it seems just data.
Right.
And that's the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And now with AI, it's even worse.
Yeah.
So it's incumbent upon families, about institutions like the church and churches, universities, to really open the door and educate men and women, students, about what truly is important,
Right.
what truly is good,
Mm-hmm.
to ask the most enduring questions and provide one of the most enduring answers they're in sync with what it means to be a human person. And Christianity and the gospel of Jesus Christ here at Cornerstone is central to that. I mean, our mission is about educating influencers in the world for Jesus Christ in a learning community where Jesus is central. And this year and every year we have a theme, and our theme is always centered on the greatness of the gospel, the greatness of Jesus Christ, as the answer to all of our problems as human beings. So I'm convinced, as a leader here at the University in West Michigan, that we need to go back to those fundamental biblical answers to these most enduring questions. Because frankly, the questions that are out there in AI and the internet are not solving the problems.
Yes. You know, AI can do great things, but it's just like any other tool, right?
Yeah.
It really is about who is the one that is bearing that weapon or that tool, right? The person that is in charge of it, that's controlling it. It's like Edison said with electricity, you can cook the meal or you can cook the man, and like, you know, I don't know if he really said that or not, but you know, that's attributed to him. But it's the same as fire or firearms. You need responsible use. And we need to make sure we're applying wisdom with those things. AI is going to tell people, in fact, we've already seen where people are using it as a therapist, you know, they're having relationships and conversations with it. And you don't want to replace real relationships. And in fact, religion is another, faith is another area where we see a day where that may be possible, where people are going to AI and treating it like it's some sort of God. It'll have all the knowledge. It'll look like the real thing. It'll be counterfeit, though. So the question is, how do you walk through those things, but also at the same time use them as the tools that can benefit you in your world of educating the students, but also, you know, furthering the gospel throughout the world. And you know, it's a fine line. I know you guys walked that with your SOAR program. You guys are doing some cutting edge things that are really incredible.
Yeah, so I mean, you have it's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool. You have to use it wisely and thoughtfully. But you always have to keep in mind that the central and beautiful thing that human beings are created in the image of God.
Yeah.
And you see in the Declaration of Independence, God, our Creator, endowed us with inalienable rights. And that principle of human dignity, foundational to this country, has to be foundational to education. The minute you get away from that, then you actually perpetrate injustices on your students. You miseducate them when you don't see them as individuals made in God's image, as bearing divine dignity because it's been granted to us. The problem in higher ed today and in technology is that we've lost sight of that. That's the challenge. And how do we reclaim that? Because I think it would change the way we educate. So for SOAR, in our SOAR program, but also in our on-campus programs, that's center. If we're made in God's image, then we need to educate men and women in a particular way.
Sure.
That honors God, but honors their humanity and treats them not as tools with just freedom to do whatever, but also responsibility and virtue and goodness. It's interesting. Last week, I went ahead and read word for word George Washington's farewell address. So as he's leaving the office to go back to private life, he writes his amazing address. And one of the things he says, he counsels the country, the young United States of America, and says to them, you cannot forget the importance of morality and religion. It is absolutely foundational to the unity and success of this young country. If you forget those two things, you will be in trouble.
You know, you said it right. I think Washington obviously had it right, but the idea that we would have in the kind of government that we do as we're coming up on the 250th anniversary of the founding of this nation, but the idea that we would have this incredible freedom and that we could, and we're some, as we look at those ideas, the rights that came from God, the government, the Constitution recognizes those things and protects them. But freedom is one thing, and it's fantastic. I love it. And as someone who's now celebrating the 45th year, you came here 45 years ago. I'll let you talk about this too, but you cannot have the kind of government we have without having that morality as a foundation, without having that understanding, and also the involvement in the engagement. We can't just sort of abdicate and outsource that to somebody else. We have to be involved and we have to be a moral people. If we are, we'll never win.
I mean, look, liberty and freedom requires order and virtue.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, they both go hand in hand. The minute you take morality, virtue, order out of the equation, you have chaos.
Yeah.
That's the natural default state of human beings.
And we've seen that
Right.
recently.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
liberty, order, virtue has to be a part of the equation. And it has to be something that's in the culture, nurtured at the individual family level, in the neighborhood, in the community throughout. It can't be something that a specialist technocrat expert gives to you.
Right.
It has to be from the roots up. Thus the importance of churches, strong family connections and family neighborhoods and families that are educating men and women, not just with the liberty and the freedom that we have, but the importance of virtue, the importance of moral character. That's one of the amazing things when you look at George Washington. He was consumed, obsessed with the kind of man he would be when he would get older. He was always thinking about, what am I going to be? And I think that's one of the reasons why he was a man of great character, who really thought deeply about this and was able then to tell the young country, virtue matters, morality matters. He spoke about education as the other pillar, by the way. And he spoke about the importance of an education that would take popular opinion and give it enlightenment. And by that, he meant virtue,
Yes.
insight, wisdom. He understood we all have opinions. We all have convictions, but not all of them are enlightened.
Right. Yeah.
And thus the importance of wisdom and knowledge and virtue to educate opinion, because we need our opinions to be informed, influenced by that. So the importance of morality and character and virtue matter. And look, 45 years ago, we came here October 27th. My parents sold everything they had. And we came with 2 suitcases, a duffel bag, and $300. No English, no friends, nothing. We landed in Miami, Florida. We had our green card, sort of the gold standard. And we made our way up to upstate New York. And my father would always say, I'm bringing you to the land of opportunity. What you do with it is up to you now,
Yes.
right? But every year, without fail, on October 27th, my father calls me and says, remember, God brought us here. We should be thankful. This is a great country. It's been so good to us. This October, he did something different. And I shared this in chapel yesterday. It was very moving. The first time ever, he said, can you please pray with me and thank God for bringing us here? So my father understands, he's 90 years old, the weight and the beauty of this place.
Yes.
And the grandeur of this place. And I'm convinced that we have to capture and recapture that all the time, because it's easy for us to allow the spirit of ingratitude to seep into our hearts and forget how beautiful and grand this place is.
That's right. And boy, how many of us too often forget it. You nailed it. Dr. Jason Moreno-Riaño is the president here at Cornerstone University, where they are not just educating, but they're enlightening these young minds on a daily basis and trying to give them, like the good book says, wisdom, understanding, get it above all else, and fantastic work being done here. Doctor, thank you so much for taking the time. We know the wisdom conversations are coming up. If folks want to find out more about the SOAR program or any one of these things, they can go online, Cornerstone.
Cornerstone.edu, it's all right on the website. And please come and join us.
Fantastic. Thank you, my friend.
Thank
As
you.
always, we're back with more after this, folks. Don't go anywhere. Eric Metaxas joins us live from the campus of Cornerstone University in moments on Wood Radio. Good morning, folks. Welcome back in the behind the scenes live stream. We'll say good morning to a few folks watching this morning. I see Jason. As always, he was here early. He might have been the first one we were testing this morning. Good to see you there. Let's see who else. Kim, Cindy, Tina. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Bonnie, thank you for being here with us this morning, guys. Behind the scenes live stream. Hang on one second. We're going to be right back. I got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, folks, back on the air here in just a second. Hang on. Over on Rumble, I see Happy Hunter. Gritter, good to see you. Tree Frog, thank you so much. History Diggers, Mark, good to see you, man. Gary, good to see you too. SJ, thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure you click share today so we can break the algorithm. We are back on. Lots of movement today. Back on West Michigan Live. We'll have more on the governor and the new budget she's proposed, and the amount of money she wants to pull out of your pocket to make it happen. They've already said, Speaker of the House has already said, Matt Hall said, "No, we're not going with any more." In fact, he says, "The way we're going to do this is going to have to come from cutting some things." And we know we're bloated. We know we got it. They've got MI Doge working on some of this, so we'll dig into it coming up a little bit later on. Our guest today joins us, Eric Metaxas, here in the program on the other side of the bottom of the hour here after our news. So stand by for that. Thanks to the Good Feet store today, making today's show and every day popular and happening because it's more, I don't know, you're more comfortable, you're more confident. At least I know I am trying to stay on my toes. The news keeps you every day, and my little girls keep me running as well. You got to stay on your feet and feeling good while you do it. Whether you're at work or play, the Good Feet store can help you with the personalized art support that I can't stop raving about. You know, for years now, I've been talking about these folks. You can stop in and see it for yourself. Whether you got that goal, maybe you're trying to hit a certain steps goal for your big New Year's resolution, like some of us, or maybe you just want to feel good again at work or play. It doesn't matter. They can help you. Just stop in and see for yourself on 28th Street, right in front of Costco, or in Portage on Westnedge in front of Kohl's at the Good Feet store. Tell them I sent you. Back with more after this. Our bottom of the hour news next on Wood Radio. It's West Michigan Live. All right, behind the scenes, folks, hang on one second. I will be right back with you. Stand by. All right, guys. Hey, you're really getting the behind the scenes live stream today, man. You are really seeing everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sorry for the pauses, but every now and then we have to take some breaks. So, and I don't have the normal stuff that we have in studio to be able to play stuff for you. But how's everybody doing today? I don't know if you saw this, but apparently last night they were busy in the House. They also voted to cancel. I think there was a few Republicans that went along with this. The president wasn't happy about that, but they voted to cancel tariffs on Canada, which we're right in the middle of right now with the talk about the bridge. So that's a conversation that's on top of the list as well. This AI thing, I sent this out yesterday, and we're going to probably dig into it next week when we cover this with Trent. But there's a whistleblower. There's a guy who, I guess he worked for Anthropic, one of their top guys, and he was saying, AI is going off the rails. In fact, it might already be there. And he says, I can't be a part of it anymore. So he's written this huge warning piece. We shared it on X. We'll make sure. I think I shared it with folks in the stack yesterday too. So if you haven't got a chance to go back and check that out, go to check the stack. We were talking amongst ourselves. Bonnie says, that's good. I know I never have to worry about you guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, did you watch the Pam Bondi hearings yesterday? That was something. There were some clips that came out of that. Unfortunately, I can't play much of that right now. Otherwise, I would. But man, there was some good stuff out of it. There were some fireworks moments. Oh, thank you, Kim. That's very nice. Kim said, "You look dapper today. I'm feeling a little dapper." Well, when you go out in public, we gotta dress up a little bit here and there. You say there's an echo? I wonder what could be causing that. I'm not sure. It might just be where we're at. It might be a bit of an echo in here because we're inside an auditorium on the stage of a theater here. It's a mixed bag of Pam Bondi fans here in the chat this morning. You guys are entertaining me here. Are my shoulders really that big? No, I think, Lori, I think there's a little padding on these coats. Have I been lifting weights, right? I've been lifting kids. Those are my weights. And the 5-year-old is getting bigger. Well, they're both getting bigger every day. Jason says nothing more permanent than a temporary tax. Ain't that the truth? Oh. Let's check in on the folks on locals too this morning. Good to see you, Mando's in there. Hemi's hanging out. Gritter. Thank you, Gritter. Appreciate that. Oh, I will pass that on to him. I guarantee he will be happy to hear that. Which one are you talking about, by the way? He's got several. I think there's a new one coming out too. He just told me about. One minute. All right. Thank you, sir. 30 seconds. We got plenty of time. You're good. All right. This out of the way.
Right. Where should I move? Should I be looking any place?
This is good. That's a camera if you want to. That's more of just a live behind the scenes kind of thing.
Okay. But I mean, it's mostly radio, but there are people. I'm saying it's mainly radio, but you got people tuning in. Like,
Can you
Whatever
just
it
a
is.
little bit closer? There we go.
and I should put on my cans.
You don't have to. If you want to wear them, you can.
What's that?
You don't have to wear those, but if you want to, you can. It's up to you.
I don't know. It's kind of loud.
We are back after it, and of course, coming up today, the Glenn Beck program, 10 this morning. Glenn's talking about the stories that matter most. We'll continue the conversations as well here in our own backyard. We are live from Cornerstone University today. It's Justin Barkley with our guest, Eric Metaxas. He's an author. Got the Eric Metaxas show, and of course, the folks all. I just had somebody in the chat say, "Tell Eric I loved his book," and I said, "Which one?" He's written like a million. So, and you're working on a new one now too. So, welcome in, Eric. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I had a really late night. As people know, I party hard, and I really just had an hour's sleep. So I'm going to try to get through this.
Well, I saw you got your coffee, so you're set. And you're ready to
I'm
go.
glad that I'm known for being such a straight arrow that I can joke.
Yeah.
I can joke about that.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be somebody that thinks that that's real. They're going to spread the rumor.
Well,
I heard him say it.
In the thriving metropolis of Grand Rapids, Michigan, you know, our parties go late here. The Dutch love the part. But, you know, the interesting thing is you are here for some serious, but you had a great day yesterday from what I understand. You had chapel here at Cornerstone University.
Yeah.
And it was a really good time.
Well, the only reason I'm here is because of Cornerstone University. Cornerstone University, for people who don't know, I mean, and this is the fact, like a few years ago, I didn't know about Cornerstone. And when I find a place that is bold and strong and that is not bowing the knee to any of the woke nonsense, that is like almost no Christian colleges. You could count on one hand the Christian colleges that have not gone wobbly. So when I find one, I'm all over it. I'm honored to be here, honored to tell folks about Cornerstone. It's a big deal in this day and age when you get a lot of people who are, you know, we just started at the Olympics. You know, you put a microphone in front of an Olympic athlete and they're like, well, I don't know, I have mixed feelings and stuff. They didn't get the memo, like America's the greatest country in the history of the world, and you should be proud and thrilled, and you should talk about, I mean, that's real. That's not jingoistic stuff, you know? So I wrote a book about the American Revolution, which will be coming out soon. And I just thought it's the 250th anniversary. We need to celebrate that. By the way, I don't know if you know this. You know what it's called this year?
It is. We just did this, so it's the.
You're going to say
the half of 500.
Yeah, you're going to say the correct term is semi-quincentennial.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say that. So I shared this with President Trump. No kidding. We should call it the supercentennial. And he loved it. And he did a speech on Fox News and said, Eric wants to call it the supercentennial, and we're going to go with that. And I was like, my jaw dropped because I thought, I mean, it's not, because you want to say we're celebrating our supercentennial. Well, I mean, I remember the bicentennial. We were all excited about it. It's the bicentennial.
Sure.
And nobody's going to say it's the semi-quincentennial. You know, like, who cares? Yeah. So it's the supercentennial. Plus, it's kind of Trumpian, right? It's our greatest centennial ever. So it's the supercentennial, and it's a year where most patriots know we need to go back to the founding. We need to reestablish who we are. We need to rededicate the nation to God. In my book, which is titled Revolution, I was, in doing the research, blown away by the Christian faith of everybody. George Washington, all these people, they say, oh, they're just deists. You know what? That is absolute baloney. George Washington was a sawed-off Christian. Everything he said. His first inaugural, people often quote the second, or his speech on leaving office. His first inaugural, 40% of it, or maybe it's like 38% of the entire speech is about God. Wow! Like when I looked at this, I said, this can't be right. Yeah. Because people act like, oh, you know, he was sort of, you know, he was open to the idea of God. He speaks. This is George Washington. Never mind John Adams and Samuel Adams and everybody. And that is what made us a free people, is that Christians who understand that we're going to govern ourselves, we're not going to look to a king, we're not going to, and that's who we are, and it's what's kept us free. And the more you drift away, the more you become secular, the less freedom you have, the more, you know, you get big government. That's the natural way it goes. And so in writing the book, to see with my own eyes, because I always sort of knew this, but then when you actually do the research, you're like, holy cow, this is overwhelming, and it's disgraceful that for 50 plus years, we've not been teaching this in the schools. Like, it's really kind of, I was shocked.
And you can tell.
Well, that's the point.
Obvious.
Isn't that the point, right? So because you've had a lot of people kind of pushing this Enlightenment idea. It's, we have Jefferson, or it's the Enlightenment. It's like, you know what? that's not true. It's just not true. But I didn't know that until I wrote the book. And so people who get this, Cornerstone University at the top of the list, he's like, we need to shout this from the rooftops, because this is how you save America, by understanding, first of all, who we actually are, what liberty actually is. It's not license, and it's grounded in, you know, the dramatically, explicitly Christian view of the founders. And I don't mean like 3 of them. I mean, you know, 98% of them got, even the ones who didn't get it got it. You know, like Franklin and Jefferson, who always held up as deists, they had a more dramatically Christian view than most Christians do today. So it really is amazing.
And they would have understood it even if they didn't quite maybe necessarily make the grade on that, because it was the culture. And we are missing that today. Just the whole understanding of it all. Maybe that's how they've been able to push this idea
Well,
forward.
this is why you have a show, because you get this. It was the culture. Everybody understood.
Yeah.
And they understood it to the level of taking it for granted. Like, of course, you know, of course they got this. But what's interesting to me as I did the research on the book is how irreligious the British elites were. It's kind of interesting. Like, they were mocking faith in the way
And did that
that the
lead
left
to
does
their-
today.
To decline, ultimately.
I would say there is no doubt that they lost the revolution because of this. That the Americans had the moral high ground, and again dramatically. Like I was shocked, because going into the research for the book, I didn't know any of this, and so when you see it, you think, wow, how come we're not teaching this in the schools? That the British Army were like, you know, they were like the Japanese army in World War II. The way they treated their prisoners, the way it was really sick. And the Americans were incredibly gracious to their prisoners, and that was the law laid down from Washington. We will not stoop to that. We will not do what they did. So all this needs to be known. This is who we are. This is how we came into existence 250 years ago.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's one of the things that becomes so important, I would imagine, about the book and understanding these issues. It's one thing to argue maybe God was on our side. Well, hopefully we were on his side. But at the end of the day, today, maybe the societies that go through those declines, they do so because they lose that moral fabric. And then where are we today? If we watch, as you mentioned, some of the athletes at the Olympics and what we just saw with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no.
But let me also, because there's so many good things going on too. I mean, look at what TP USA did with a halftime show, and I know you're close to that. So, I mean,
Unbelievable.
Look at the things that are happening in our country right now. The young people that are turning, because they're seeing the obvious issue where they're in the middle of this, and they're hungry for it. We're seeing kind of a revival happening.
There is no doubt about it. It's very basic. I always say this, that we're in the third existential crisis of our history. The first was the revolution, the second was the Civil War. This is the third. And this time we're facing, you know, it's the globalists, it's Islamofascism, it's Chinese communism. There are wicked forces that hate the idea of a sovereign nation that's self-governing, and that's really it's trusting God. There's no way around it, right? And so we are in a war right now, but I believe it's God's will we prevail, and I believe we will prevail. But we have to understand, just as Washington did. George Washington understood that if we behave in the right way and honor God in how we fight the war, God will honor us. And if we stoop, just say, well, we just want to win, we will lose. And so that's what's so fascinating to me, is that are you gonna do the right thing? If you do the right thing, I mean, John Adams was explicit about this. All of these guys, especially the Boston guys, they had a Puritan covenant theology. They were like, we have to honor God. If we honor God, that's the only way we could win. It's the only way we could prevail.
So how do we? Because this is one of the things that I've been thinking about lately. I often would say that the folks on the left, or call them those forces that you just mentioned, because that's really what we're talking. We wrestle against flesh and blood. That's what we're dealing with.
Correct. Yeah.
So we don't want to save our country as much as they want to destroy it. Right?
That's about right.
So, but you know, they will do anything. The ends justify the means.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not moral. On our end, we can't necessarily fight that way. But how do we also make sure that we're fighting in a way that isn't weak And
Well,
it's bold.
Well,
It's
first of
adventurous.
all, that's exactly. But that's the whole thing. It's like we have to fight hard. We have to speak boldly. But we also have to trust that if we honor God, not honor God by lying down, but honor God by fighting for the truth and fighting for those who can't fight for themselves and speak for themselves.
Right.
When we do that, we need to know that by trusting God, He will help us.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that they act like that's not real. That is real. If there are innumerable cases in the revolution, and Washington talks about it more than anybody, where there were miraculous interventions, but Washington says it over and over that who
Yes.
can deny
Yes.
that Providence has given us gracious gifts that we should not have
Incredible
won.
miracles.
But it happens over and over and over again. And so it's like God is trying to say, like, listen, I'm not a concept. I am real.
Yeah.
And I will help you if you honor me, if you care to serve me by how you fight. You fight for the truth. You're not fighting for yourselves. You're not fighting for power. You're fighting for what is right.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I will honor you. I will be with you. I mean, that's a biblical idea. It's clear that Washington and the leaders in the revolution understood this and wanted to live it, and that they were explicit about it. This is not just like I'm imagining it. They actually said this. And that's not taught much, or at least hasn't been taught in my lifetime. And it's pretty basic. Like, you want to be the good guys.
Yeah.
You want to be the good guys. And the only reason we've existed all this time is because mostly we've been the good guys. I mean, listen, my parents came to America in the 50s. My dad came from Greece. My mom came from Germany. The other day, for the first time, I saw their naturalization certificates in 1960 when they became American citizens, right?
Wow.
And I was really moved because I thought, my mother and father, humble people, they got to be members of the greatest club, the most exclusive club in the history of the world,
Yeah.
to be an American citizen, to have children, to raise us as American citizens. They, like so many around the world, love America, looked at America as a bright light, a beacon of truth. They really got that in their bones. They never read John Winthrop. They never read, they didn't know this stuff, but they just knew when they passed the Statue of Liberty in the boat, like, we get to live here. Like, this is a beautiful idea in history. The Americans are the good guys. We get to be. That's been, true for quite a while. And I think we're rediscovering it. And I think we are experiencing revival. And when you experience revival, in Christian faith, in patriotism, when all this stuff is happening, the dark side is going to scream louder and fight harder. And you have to realize, okay, it's cool. We're in a war, and we're going to win because we care to do what God called us to do. But of course, there's a war, and there are casualties, and people get hit and attacked. But you praise God, and you keep marching and keep fighting. And I see so much good stuff happening, and it is again why the left is losing it. They're just like, they're pulling at all the stops, and so we need to keep our eyes on God and on the truth, and do the best we can.
Press on. Eric Metaxas, thank you so much. By the way, the book, again, for folks that want to go find it, it'll be out soon, and make sure they maybe need to pre-order.
It is just called Revolution.
Okay.
Because my thesis is that, the French Revolution, those other revolutions, they're not even revolutions. They're like parodies of revolutions. The only real revolution was the American Revolution. And it is vital that Americans know our story. It is a powerful, beautiful story. It will encourage people. Yeah.
Perfect timing for this year. Get it for yourself, or maybe for kids that need this message. Eric Metaxas, thank you so much for being here with us. Appreciate
My
you.
pleasure. God bless you.
You got it. You too. Back with more next, folks. We're rolling right along. The fastest hour in radio, flying by on West Michigan Live. It's Wood Radio. Back next.
I know people tell you this, but like, you've got that
That's
great
great.
radio voice.
Thank you.
It's like, so it's like amazing. You can't buy that.
I appreciate
You
it.
can't buy it. It's like it's a gift.
Let's
It's a
do
gift.
it. Yes, please. Hey, B, would you grab a picture of us too? If I give you my phone. Well, you can use yours if you want. What do you want about me?
Yep. Right, so.
All right.
Right here. That roll between two thorns.
Whatever they say. All right.
Can y'all step forward just like
Forward,
a
okay.
tad? Yep, there you go.
All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Good deal.
I'll take my iPhone to do the same
Yeah,
thing real
one
quick.
quick. Okay.
Not as cool as his phone, or his is. send them to your email.
Thanks.
Right, yeah,
Appreciate
bless
it.
you.
I'd
Thanks
love
for what
to,
you do.
what's a good way to connect with you?
My website is just erichmax.com, which is info. That goes to my staff. Anytime.
I do some filming for Glenn every now and then, so it's usually around the holidays, but for Glenn back.
You know, Glenn, he was the guy winning the that blew my mind.
Yeah,
December 2010, I was on his Fox show. He let me talk 30 minutes. He barely interrupted me for 30 minutes. I was on the chalkboard, and it kind of kicked the book into an audience that had heard about it. So for that alone, I love Glenn. He's just, he's just such a real. So last time I saw him was at Charlie's Memorial, and yeah, I love him. So whatever. I will want to talk. I mean, the book is coming out officially in May, and I want to do as much media as I can. Because I really feel like it's, the reason I wrote the book is because there isn't a book that tells the whole story. Sure. The whole story.
Well, let's right up his alley. I'm sure he'll want to talk.
Yeah. Oh no. I will. Believe me, we'll be reaching out to anybody who's
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Yeah. Bless you. Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, folks. Back on the air here in just a moment. Well, we really got the behind the scenes live stream today, didn't we, huh? We thank you guys for being here with us. I'll wrap up the show and then we'll come back and wrap up with you. You guys did a great job today, by the way. That's great. Yeah. "15 seconds, folks. Hang on. Here we go. Big jobs report yesterday, by the way, smashing all kinds of records. And by the way, as you've seen what the Dow's done, I mean, lots of great economic news. In fact, we hope to speak with someone from the Treasury Department here. They reached out. I probably, maybe the next day or so, maybe next week at the latest. But big news there is they're going to be keeping an eye on all of the big developing issues here. Justin Barkley back with you. And the fastest hour radio flying by. Thanks to our guest today, Eric Metaxas and Dr. Gerson Moreno-Riano at Cornerstone University, the president here. Fantastic event. They've got great things going on here at Cornerstone University. Want to say happy birthday, too, to a very special listener today, someone who is celebrating a very special birthday, Helen Eisentrager. Happy birthday, Helen. We appreciate you listening to this program. And each and every one of you, thank you so much for being with us, whether you watch the behind the scenes live stream daily, you listen to the podcast, or you watch us live. It doesn't matter, live or archive. We just love that you're here, and we love that you're a part of this program. The Glenn Beck program coming up next, and Glenn fired up and ready to go with the biggest stories of the day. And I just saw this. So I've been trying to pay attention. I know Clay and Buck have been covering it pretty extensively, but I just saw that they've discovered a glove last night in the case with Nancy Guthrie, which is incredible. They may be able to get some DNA out of it. We are continuing now. I don't know how many days we're through this now. It's been wild to watch this, and we continue to pray for her return and safely. From Cornerstone University and all the great folks that made it happen here today, we got folks on site. We got our good friend Brett, Olivia, Tara's here with us, Adam back in the studio. Thank you so much for making us sound and look good today. We appreciate you as always. That's it, folks. Back tomorrow with more. I'm Justin Barkley. Make it a great day. God bless. All right, we're clear. Thank you, behind the scenes live stream, folks. They're going to start tearing things down here in just a little bit. So I got to get out of their way. We've got meetings we got to get to a little bit later after this. But I just want to thank you for being here and hanging out with us. And no after show today, but we'll have one tomorrow, and everything will be back to normal. Sometimes we got to do these little on location things. It's nice to know that we can. And we'll work out a system to make things go a little bit more smoothly for you. But the folks on Locals, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to maybe say, hey, this could go a little bit better, or hey, this didn't go as we like, let me know so we can make those improvements for you. Appreciate you guys. All right. I think that's it. That's it. All right. God bless you, folks.
I'm Dr. Kirk Elliott, founder of Kirk Elliott Precious Metals. After being in the industry for more than a decade, I knew there was a better way. It's an exciting time to invest in gold and silver with the most significant bull market I've ever seen, but please don't overpay for your stuff. At KEPM, we focus on low-cost bullion only, and we don't charge a commission when you sell. We would love to connect with you, so call our office at 720-605-3900
Or go to goldwithjustin.com today.